Have you ever walked into an appointment totally prepared, and then the moment they start talking, your mind goes blank? Or you hear yourself talking fast or over explaining, forgetting your questions, and you leave thinking, why couldn't I think straight? Today, we're talking about why you can't think straight under stress and what to do about it as a caregiver who's holding it together in hard rooms. By the end of this episode, you'll have one gentle reset, plus a simple framework you can use before, during, and after hard rooms so you can have calmer days and clearer words without spiraling or crashing afterwards. If you're tired of holding it together in hard rooms, appointments, hospital days, and service systems, and then crashing afterwards, you're in the right place. Hi, lovely. Caregiver to caregiver, I'm really glad you're here. I'm Michelle. As a caregiver and advocate, I know firsthand what it's like to become the walking medical encyclopedia, to fight for continuity so you don't have to repeat your story, and to leave the room thinking, I should have said that differently. No pressure, no perfect routines, and no toxic positivity. Just one gentle reset, one practical next step so you can have calmer days, clearer words, and advocate without self-abandoning. Let's take a breath and start. If you'd like support and a guided space for this kind of reflection, holding gratitude and truth together, you can download my free gratitude journal. I'll link it in the show notes. No pressure, just there if it supports you. I want to start with a moment you might recognize. It's the day of the appointment, or the call, or the meeting, and you've rehearsed it in your head. You've got the symptoms written down, or your timeline, or the list of questions you need answered. You've done the work. And then you sit down and the room has that feeling. The rushing, the power imbalance, the we only have 10 minutes, the fear that if you say the wrong thing, you'll be labeled difficult or brushed off, or your loved one won't get what they need. And what my body does, even now, I can feel it as I'm describing it. It tightens. My jaw clenches, my chest gets tight, my brain goes loud and foggy at the same time. Or I go the opposite. I go quiet and blank. And then afterwards, it hits the crash, the car park exhale, the replay at nighttime, the tears, the I should have said loop. So if this happens to you, I want you to hear this clearly. It's not a character flaw. It's not because you're not smart enough or organized enough. It's because your nervous system is doing exactly what it was designed to do under threat. So let's talk about what's actually happening when you can't think straight under stress and what you can do that works in real caregiving life. First, I want to take shame off the table. When you walk into a hard room, an appointment, a hospital day, a service system conversation, your nervous system isn't thinking, let's communicate clearly and calmly. It's thinking, is this safe? Is this going to go badly? Do I need to protect my person? Do I need to protect myself? And when your system reads threat, even a social threat like being dismissed, rushed, or not believed, it shifts you into protection mode. That's when you get the blank mind, the messy words, the over-explaining, or the yes that slips out before you've even decided. So the first move is not to try harder. The first move is to notice what mode you're in and give your body a tiny signal that you're allowed to come down even one notch. The first skill, name it, then downshift one notch. Here's what I mean. In the moment, you might quietly say to yourself, I'm activated. I'm going blank. My body thinks this is dangerous. That's not negative. That's not dramatic. That's accurate. And it creates space. Then instead of a full routine, because we're not doing perfect routines here, you do one small downshift. My favorite is this. Unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, and do one longer exhale than your inhale. That's it. You're not trying to be calm. You're trying to be more available to yourself than you were 10 seconds ago. Because when you can access even a little bit of regulation, you can access a little bit of language again. The second skill is stop relying on memory and use a scaffold. Now, the next thing is this. In hard rooms, your working memory can go completely offline. So if you're telling yourself, I have to remember everything, explain it perfectly, and advocate clearly, you're asking your brain to do the exact thing stress makes hardest. Instead, we use scaffolds. We let structure hold the load. And I want you to keep this so simple. You can do it in the car, in the lift, in the waiting room, or even in the bathroom. I want you to open notes in your phone or in a journal and write 3 lines. I call it the 3-line notes. Number 1, I'm noticing. 2, today I need. And 3, what's the plan from here? The reason this works is because it stops you from telling the whole 24-hour story when you're nervous. It brings you back to clarity, and clarity protects you. If you tend to freeze or go blank, you can even add a little rescue line at the top of the note just for you. Something like, if I go blank, I will pause and ask them to repeat it slowly. You're basically preloading support into the moment. Before we go on, just a tiny pause. If it helps, drop your shoulders, exhale once, and feel your feet on the ground. And remind yourself, nothing needs to be perfect to count. If all you do today is realize I'm activated and take one long exhale, that counts. The third skill in the room is slow it down so your words can catch up. Now let's talk about the room itself. One of the biggest triggers in hard rooms is speed. The rush tone, the time pressure, the feeling that you have to get it right now. So one of the best emotional regulation skills you can learn is simply this: slow the room down. Not by arguing, not by becoming bigger, but by using one steady sentence that buys you time. Pick one and make it yours. I need a moment to think. Can you repeat that slowly? Can we write that down so I don't miss it? I'm going to take notes. Give me a second. Can you explain that again in simpler words? And if you're facing dismissal or you feel yourself shrinking, here's a calm sentence that holds your ground without a fight. Help me understand what you're basing that on. That sentence does a lot. It slows the pace, it shifts the power dynamic slightly back into collaboration, and it gives your nervous system a moment to catch up. And I want to say this clearly. You are not too much for needing time. You are not difficult for needing clarity. You are building the conditions where you can advocate properly. The fourth skill is after the room. Closing the loop, or your brain will keep looping. Now, here's the part that changes everything for a lot of caregivers because we skip it. After the hard rooms, your mind might understand it's over, but your body can still be braced. That's why you crash later. That's why you replay it at 2 a.m. That's why you suddenly remember what you wanted to say once you're safe. So we need an out of the room transition. I call it a soft landing. This takes 60 to 90 seconds. One long exhale, dropping your shoulders, unclenching your jaw, hand on your chest or your belly if that feels okay. And then say, I'm out of the room now. I'm safe to come back into my body. It might feel small, but it gives your nervous system a clear cue. The danger has passed. Then we do one more thing. Continuity, so your brain doesn't keep trying to hold everything. Open your notes and write, next step, who and when. One question for next time. That's not admin, that's aftercare. That's how you stop the appointment living in your body all week. The gratitude piece with truth, not bypassing. And now I want to add something here that matters because I know gratitude can be loaded for people, especially caregivers who've been through too much or who've been told to stay positive when what they really needed was support. So let me be really clear about what I mean when I talk about gratitude inside this container. I'm not talking about pretending things are okay. I'm not talking about silver linings. I'm not talking about forcing your nervous system to perform positivity. Trauma-aware gratitude is different. It's simply giving your brain one safe point to land while still telling the truth. Because after stress, your mind scans for threat. It scans for what you missed. It scans for what could go wrong. That's a normal protective pattern. But it's really exhausting. Gratitude done gently can interrupt that scanning, not by denying the hard things, but by widening the frame just enough to let your body come down. Here are a few prompts that don't dismiss your reality. It's acknowledging both the hard and the good. So that was hard. And I showed up. I didn't say it perfectly, and I protected the next step. I felt scared, and I stayed with myself. This system is heavy, and I am still here. And if even that feels too big on some days, make it micro. Make it body-based. Something like, I'm grateful I'm out of the room now. I'm grateful I can exhale. I'm grateful I wrote the next step down. That's enough. That counts. And this is why the gratitude journal isn't here as a be positive tool. It's here as a guided place to hold gratitude and truth together. A place where you can record the tiny wins your nervous system needs to recover, alongside the reality of what you're carrying. Because caregivers need proof, not pressure, proof that you're not failing. Proof that you are moving through impossible things with courage, even when it doesn't look pretty. So if you take nothing else from this teaching section, let it be this. Name the state. Downshift one notch. Use the 3 lines scaffold. Slow the room down, soft landing afterwards. And then anchor one true, gentle gratitude without forcing yourself to pretend. Now let's wrap this up gently. Today, we've talked about why you can't think straight under stress and why that doesn't mean you're failing. It means your nervous system is doing its job in hard rooms. And we walk through a simple flow you can come back to anytime. Name the state. Downshift one notch. Use the 3 lines note. So you're not relying on your memory. Slow the room down with one steady sentence and then give yourself a soft landing afterwards so it doesn't turn into a 2 a.m. replay. Your next small step this week is this. Start one note in your phone called Hard Room Notes. Write your 3 lines. I'm noticing today I need, what's the plan from here? And choose one slow room and choose one. Slow the room down sentence that feels like you. And then, after your next hard room, try one tiny truth-based gratitude anchor. Something like, that was hard and I showed up. Not to force positivity, just to give your nervous system one safe place to land. I'll put the prompts and the free gratitude link in the show notes. Keep it gentle and doable. Hey lovely, caregiver to caregiver, if today's episode supported you even in a small way, would you share it with another caregiver who's holding it together in hard rooms too? And if you have a quick moment, leaving a review on Apple Podcast really helps this reach more caregivers who need calmer days, clearer words, and practical support. I'll see you right back here next time for another episode. I'm Michelle, and this is Nervous System Reset for Caregivers. No pressure, no perfect routines, no toxic positivity. Just one gentle reset and one practical next step. Until next time, take gentle care of your radiant moments and of yourself.